Hi, good people. Hi, TIs. It's Sherry, and today I have some free and valuable information for you to benefit yourself as well as others. Okay, I'm working on a video right now. I told you guys before that I have to consider if I'm going to do it or not. So still waiting on that. But um, but definitely the way things are going, I think it's important information. So I think that the answer will be yes, but I don't know. But as soon as I get it, I will go ahead and make that video. It's fascinating. The human experimentation that is done upon unknowing, unwitting citizens. You never know you're going to get picked for an experimentation, and then poof, you're on somebody's, some mad scientist, corporation money grabbing human trafficking list. That's what I'm going to talk about today. Puzzles. It's puzzles again. It's Sunday, but whatever. We're going to do puzzles, okay? Because this week has been full of pieces. All right, so you guys know my story. I'm Sherry, and I have every reason to believe that I am being targeted on a human trafficking program for medical experimentation. Now, I don't come to that decision lightly. I base it off of research based upon the fact that millions, billions of citizens have been tested upon in this matter in the past by our governments and private corporations, not in just the United States, but all over the world. Now, I did another video where I sat there and I named the different experiments. They actually have names. There's government documents that state that these things happen. These, experiments, were done on people without people's consent or permission. Okay. Even one of the presidents, Bill Clinton, back in 1995, issued an apology for the experimentation that was done on citizens without their consent. So, fast forward to now, and in 2011 we got the Human Brain Initiative Act, which was signed off on by a president, and it says it is what the name says it is: Human Brain Initiative Act. The goal is to make a smart world. Okay, the United States, the first designated smart state is Illinois. What is a smart world, you ask? That is the ability to sync everything with human brains. Okay, so Alexa, picture Alexa on steroids, Alexa everywhere. Okay. For instance, you can sync the human brain with a phone. You don't have to use the phone and touch it with your fingers to work it. You could actually send the signals from your brain to your phone to give it the commands. Oh yes, called interfacing. That's what the more accurate word. Usually, you see it in the medical field with people with disabilities, or something happened. They can't use a limb, or they can't talk or whatever, and so they'll get a chip, and then in their eye or their brain. I knew a boy that had one in his eye, but wherever, and you can then sync human brain with the device, okay, with the computer, to think and speak for you. It's a wonderful tool, like, say, for instance, in the boy who couldn't talk, because when he would interface his brain with the computer would then speak for him, where he would otherwise not been able to speak. Okay. Also, too, I worked with a veteran that was disabled, paralyzed from the neck down. Okay, horrible. And he couldn't, obviously move even his wheelchair. But with the signals from his brain to his computer in his wheelchair, it powered his wheelchair. So these are wonderful things that this technology is capable of. Okay, but it's also very invasive and horrible things, especially if you're being tested upon brain experimentation without your permission, because they can mess up sometimes. Okay, so now who's doing these experiments? Oh, anybody who has money. I would say big corporations. Of course, this is all private, hush hush. It's illegal to experiment on somebody's brain. It still is. To experiment on anybody's body um, without consent. Okay, so if I do feel like I maybe have a lawsuit coming on, if I can prove this, because I feel like there's been a lot of damage done. For instance, okay, so now you know the history, that I'm just not pulling this out of nowhere. Okay, my perps have been getting mad this week too. They're mad when I fight back for myself. When I don't want somebody experimenting on me, they get mad about it. You see, because there's a money trail. These are human traffickers, whatever they want to call themselves: doctors, scientists, nurses, law enforcement. You're a human trafficker, because the definition of trafficking a human is to gain, I forget the exact definition, but it's to make money off of another human being without their permission. Okay, you can do it for sex, or you can do it for other ways. For instance, medical research. You're making money non-consensually off of another human being without their permission. That's called human trafficking. Okay? I'm not mincing words here. I know recently there was something that was said, oh, don't spread rumors, don't say that something is human trafficking when it's not. In my situation, I can say that it is. If you're experimenting without my permission on my brain, it's human trafficking. And I would like to be compensated. Not that it's about money, it's not. But it's about whoever is doing this needs to be brought to justice. You don't do that to somebody. It's not okay. It's not ever going to be okay. So I digress. Anyways, to give you guys a little example of what happens. Okay, it's all focused on the brain. So when I go to sleep at night, I hear a ringing in my ears. Okay, Sherry, a lot of people could hear ringing. This is true. Now, another strange part of this is I got the ringing in my ears after I had my first and only surgery of my entire life. This was back in 2011, the same year that the President Obama signed off on the Human Brain Initiative Act. Okay, Human Brain Initiative. The UK already had it. So what does it mean? It means that they're going to experiment on human brains to further data. Elon Musk, Neuralink, stuff like that. Elon Musk is not the only one that, there's different companies that are working on things like that. Neuralink, right? What is that? Things like that. That's interfacing human brain with devices with the goal. And this is their stated goal. This is not just me, when I'm saying these words, they're written, okay? Smart World Agenda. It's to sync every human brain on the planet with devices and with each other. Hive mind. We talked about that in a couple videos ago. Okay, so back in 2011, I decided to have a surgery. I was having some problems. Now that I know it was due to a lot of this experimentation. When you're hit with radiation, invisible and powerful, it causes problems. A lot of times my thyroid was going out of whack. Like it basically wasn't working. Of course, they wanted to do more surgery to try to remove it and kill it. Stay away from me. Try to stay away from the operating table if you can, because once you're there and you're unconscious, all bets are off. Anyways, I digress. So I go to get the surgery, right? It was my stomach. All they were doing was going in through the belly button and looking at everything with a laser, see if there was anything causing fertility problems or discomfort, because I was having a lot of problems, particularly centered around, my stomach area and with my menstrual and all that, and that I had never had problems before, Anyways, I go in and I had a hard time going under. I'll spare you that story, but I didn't go under all the way. I was supposed to. It wasn't a twilight, procedure. No, I was having full-fledged surgery. Okay, I should have been knocked out. I wasn't. Okay, for whatever reason. I wasn't. I could hear what was going on. I couldn't move, but I could hear everything that was going on during my surgery. Until I finally fell asleep in the middle of the surgery, finally. Now, unbeknownst to them, they didn't know I was awake. They couldn't, because you can't move or talk. You can just sit there and, But the good thing was I didn't feel any pain. I felt the pressure of them digging around in my stomach area, but I did not feel any pain. Okay. Very odd feeling. Very odd. Okay, so I finally went to sleep, in the middle of the surgery. And then I remember waking up, you guys, and I felt like they were putting something in my ear. I felt something was being put in my ear. It felt like a plasticky device. And I'm like, when you're in surgery, it's kind of like waking up out of a dream. I'm like, I slowly was getting consciousness. Again, I'm on the table. I hadn't full conscious, so they didn't know I was waking up. But, I was. And I'm like, what is going on here? Something in my ear. Wait a second. Where am I at? Oh, yeah, I'm having surgery. Oh, yeah, it's stomach surgery. Wait, why are they in my ear? What's going on in my ear? Kid you not. Ever since then, weird problems. Oh, even the doctor after that surgery is funny because, you have to go in for your 2-week follow-up. So she asked me, how's everything going? You having any symptoms? Ringing in the ears? I'm like, ringing in my ears? As a matter of fact, I do. It was funny that she asked that, because it was stomach surgery. What the heck does ears, and then she acted like she, like it was, oh, okay, just curious, and then she was naming off a whole bunch of other stuff. I said, I didn't fall all the way asleep during my surgery. She said, really? She was a white lady. Her face got even whiter, What do you mean? What happened? Did you hear anything? Did I hear anything? And I said, I remember, this is true, that you did not put the catheter in me because I remember peeing on the exam table when they went into my stomach. All of a sudden, my bladder released. And they're like, oops. And then they had to turn me over and put the catheter in me. Because remember, I was still awake as this was going on. They didn't know I was awake, but I was awake. So I told her that. Little Miss, professional. Then her face got even whiter. Because she knew that is what happened. She said, oh, you were awake. Yeah, lady, I was awake. And by the way, what did you put in my ear? What was that? Oh, no, we didn't put anything in your ear. All did not. Then her white face got red. Oh, we didn't put anything in your ear. You didn't? Okay. Because I felt something was in my ear. And I'm younger now. You got a picture. This is years ago. So, and you would never think that. But in my heart of hearts, I knew something wrong had happened. And I felt very much like it was a black ops thing. And knowing what I know about experimentation, this has been done to many people where you're illegally implanted with devices. Oh, sure. If they're testing out all this stuff, They can't always get people who are willing to do it, and they don't always want to pay people. They're cheap. They're cheap. Okay? Why would they pay you when they could just do it for free without your knowledge? Forget it. They're having a surgery. Potato, potato. Just put a little device in them. We're testing it. And then they get a little kickback from the company who made the device, right? A device like Neuralink. Not that, but, you know, devices like that. Whatever you want to call it. Human brain interface devices, okay? They get money for it because it's a world agenda. Oh, yeah. So the powers that be, they're dishing out money, contracts left and right. And who's getting experimented on? Citizens. I have every reason to believe that is what happened to me. And ever since then, I've had, I'm not going to go into it this morning, I don't have time, but I'll make a video about it one day. All the symptoms that followed that, ringing in my ear, just waking up, just a personality, even a slight personality change. I am not kidding. There's no way I could make this up. I mean, just odd things. Okay. And again, I remember waking up and something was being put in my ear, and I knew it was highly illegal and it was highly dangerous. Okay. So maybe if I could find a doctor that would be willing to, to do a scan or a surgery on me, you would find something implanted in me. And then I could have this lawsuit against whomever thought it was a good idea to use me as a human guinea pig because it's hurt me. But, they're making billions. They don't want to admit to it. Okay, so, like, I can't get into all the symptoms right now, but trust me, it's been a wild ride. But particularly every night when I go to sleep, they like to do this stuff, this neuro experimentation when you're sleeping. My head gets hot. They turn up that, whatever it is, it's in my ear. It sounds like a ringing, like a dull, and it makes me dizzy. What are they doing? What is that? And it's not natural because it happens at a certain time. You can tell. If it was natural, it would happen all day. It doesn't happen all day. It happens when I'm going to sleep, when my brain is vulnerable. Then I have unmarked cars parking outside my house all the time. That's where they usually hide their energy equipment. And they can play it off. I have houses up the block that I believe are involved in this, because they hire goon squads, right, to do this, security, if you will, or whatever, whatever dirty deeds there are to be done, they hire people to do them. I'm trying to be funny, but in human trafficking rings, they hire people to help, beat the people up, keep them in line, okay? So maybe if they're doing experimentation on me and I'm sleeping, maybe somebody's hired to hold me down, right? Maybe I'm still fighting even if I'm, in an altered state. Okay, so every night, boop, and it feels like an MRI machine, right? Just makes me sick, nauseous. I can barely go to, every night. Again, I'm explaining the symptoms. I should go into it in a video one day where I get really specific. I'll do that. But the main thing is definitely focused around the head, okay? So that happens every night, okay? I don't get a good sleep. I never get a thorough sleep. Okay, and God knows what they're doing. Like I said, you guys, I talked about psychic driving. That's done with a machine called SSS, Silent Subliminal Sound. That's a frequency machine, because remember, the brain runs off of frequencies, and they can pump a sound into you that your brain will hear the regular sound, whatever it is, music, sound, but underneath the sound in the frequencies, there'll be hidden a hypnotic message by whatever the sender wants it to be, like Dr. Ewan Cameron, that psychiatrist that was working for the CIA. The people didn't know. They were just going to a psychiatrist. Some of them had regular problems. I'm a little depressed. I got postpartum depression. Oh, come to our come to our clinic. And they were getting tested on. The guy had a sleep room. He was making people sleep like up to 24 hours a day for months at a time. He was wiping people's memory. He was abusing those people, abusing them, and getting all the time funded by the CIA. He was a freaking CIA experiment, Dr. House of Horrors sleep room. You should look at it. Dr. Ewan Cameron. Did he ever get brought to justice for it? No, they labeled him. He contributed so much to the field of psychiatry. He contributed. The people literally, you guys, he caused brain damage in people. One lady, her memory, she can't even remember her kids. All she went in was for postpartum depression. Sick. You better believe these people will do it. You believe it. Okay, and I'm not stupid. So anyways, psychic driving, that's the name of it. That's where Ewan Cameron would put a helmet on the people and put tape recorders. This is back in the 60s and 70s. They can do it remotely now. That's the beauty of it, and that's the danger of it. They used to have to get you in there and really, work you. Now, not anymore. With all this energy weapons, they can do it right from the comfort of their own home, right to your own home while you're sleeping. literally play messages to you. Your brain will never hear it. And this is a real thing. They even have this somewhere in Chicago in one, I think it's an airport or a tunnel or something, where the people have to keep walking. So there's music playing. They even do this with Christmas music in the mall and stuff around shopping time. The music is playing, whatever it is, whatever cover up sound is playing. Your brain will hear it. But underneath the sounds hidden in the frequencies, there is a hypnotic message. Okay? Whatever it wants, and you'll never be able to hear it with your conscious brain. Whatever the person wants the message to be. You know, when you, and your brain, your subconscious brain absorbs it. It's powerful. So with Ewan Cameron, like some people, he was saying, he was trying to program them, you know, you hate your mother. And they didn't hate their mothers. But he was trying to program that. I mean, it almost makes you wonder if he's trying to do, you know, it looks like he was maybe trying to do Manchurian Candidates, you know, where you make people so you can turn people into killers, the average person, just by, you know, hyping them up. Sure, he didn't think, you know, the brain is funny. The brain is wonderful, the brain is funny. Okay? And I think there was a doctor, a CIA doctor, somebody said that. Give me any human being, I can turn him into a killer, you know? And you would think, no. Well, somebody's playing with your brain. You never know what you're capable of, and it's been proven. You can take average people and program them, okay, to become different. So anyways, that's one of the things with me too. After that surgery, you know, my baseline changed a little bit. I did, you know, this is bizarre, I know it is, but anyways, let's stick to the basics. Every night, boop, scan. So I never get a full night's sleep. So I'm walking around sleep deprived all the time, and that's part of psyops. That's, you know, and whoever, it's so funny because they're making money off of this. I'm suffering. I'm a guinea pig over here, and they're making money off of running this machine. And do they stop? No. You know why? Because the machine is invisible and it's powerful. They don't have to. They're getting paid. I'm doing all the work, though. Then they got the nerve sometimes. Some of my perps like to say I'm lazy or I'm getting something for free. For free! Mind you. Me, who's worked since I was 14 years old. And I work hard. I have a pretty good work ethic. You know? I'm getting something for free. No, they're getting something for free. They're testing out billion-dollar equipment that they're going to roll out to everybody else. They're getting it for free. So I would love a lawsuit. If there's a doctor out there, a surgeon, somebody, you're looked into human rights and you want somebody to prove that this is being done, implantation, experimentation, get a hold of me. I'm going to list my email address on my YouTube channel, but get a hold of me. I mean, hey, if we're wrong, we're wrong. But I don't think so. Okay, so yeah, this morning, my perps, who, you know who's constantly involved in my human trafficking slash it masquerades as a surveillance program, right? A safety. That's the key word. That's how you know somebody's up to some BS when they start talking about safety, okay? Because I got stories. You want to know about safety? Is experimenting on people safe? In their brain? But I guess they're like, F my brain, you know, we got an agenda to meet, lady. Well, do your own brain. Oh, no, I can't do that. Really? But you're the one who wants it. Why should I be your guinea pig? I don't want the smart world. I'm fine with things as it is. Most of us are. But you got this crowd, this, you know, agenda. They want to build a new Babylon. They're obsessed. It's like Smeagol, Lord of the Rings. You know, my precious. You can't, you know, fine. Experiment on your own brains. No, can't, no, God, no. Don't never do that. Got to use the rest of us. If any doctors out there, you want to help me find this equipment and we can make a issue of this, please get a hold of me. Anyways, what else? Yeah, so the cab company again. I mean, and it's this is what I'm thinking, and it's because, you know, it's every day, all day. It's always a cab company. They've been heavily involved in my human trafficking slash surveillance program. They're not the government, okay? They're nobody. So why are they harassing and surveillancing people? I don't know. Probably getting kickbacks. I can tell you that some of the owners and some of the cab companies in our city are owned by politicians. Co-owned, should I say. You know, it's a family thing. Italians. And they're working together, you know. Yeah, politicians. So what are the odds? Somebody getting a little kickback? You know? That's where I'm at. So I didn't get any sleep again. It's sleep, but it's not a real sleep. It's not my deep. I didn't get my REM sleep. What are my dreams? I used to be able to remember my dreams. What are my dreams? I can't remember them. Why? Because they were running that machine, and they ran it all night. Even ran it when I woke up. You know, I can feel it. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys have a great day. Gonna solve these puzzles, okay? You guys like the background? See? Nice, hey? Reminds me of Sherbert. So I'm trying to be happy, trying to continue, trying to be positive. But with all this corruptness and human trafficking going on, it's upsetting. to say the least. But we can always find answers, right? All right, gotta go. Remember to do your research. I would suggest doing research on neuroexperimentation. That's the head, neuro, because that's what everybody that walks this planet, that's what they have in plan. Okay, just so you know, do your research on that. And then remember that the true God loves us no matter what. You know, I know it's hard sometimes to remember that because everything that's going on seems so wicked and so corrupt. You know, like how could the true God let this happen? But it's, you know, it's all going to be, it'll all be made right one day. Okay, so thank you so much. Do your research. God loves us. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.